I can imagine Solskjær walking back in the room and he'd be like, hello lads, I'm here. And I'm like, I don't. The only reason they want an ex-player is to mug you all off again. And you know what as well? Daniel Sturridge was sat on Sky Sports with Roy Keane, and you know what? We talk about ex-players, we talk about journalists, right? But what I have noticed this week is you've got Daniel Sturridge, Jamie Redknapp, Match of the Day, it was Danny Murphy, and I can't remember who was with him. Even Gabby Bonglahor on Talk Sport, I saw the clip when he was talking about me and then he was talking about Solskjær. And everybody, Simon Jordan, like everybody is saying what, and they're not United fans. I'm talking about pundits, media. Everybody is laughing at us for bringing Solskjær back. I've not heard anybody outside of United fans going, good idea. That terrifies me. That absolutely terrifies me. If you know, I know Jason Wilcox and Sir Jim listen to ex-players. I'd be listening to the media on this. I know I'm a bit of a hypocrite for saying that, but you know when everyone tells you it's raining, I don't go out in mosquitoes, right? It probably is raining, and everybody is rinsing us in the media for going back for Solskjær, and that worries me because it's the same as saying to Liverpool when they had Roy Hodgson, you need to keep him. The reason we used to say keep him because he's shit. You know when you used to hear people saying, I hope Fellaini's playing, you know, Liverpool fans, that's because they think he's shit. Yeah? It worries me. It really, really does. But look, I think Roy Keane was onto something, and you know what? Maybe we do need to look at the decision makers, because whether it's Sir Alex Ferguson, Sir Jim Radcliffe, Jason Wilcox, Ed Woodward, Joel Glazer, the last 12 years, when you look at decisions, has been absolutely incredibly bad. And we've still got the same people making these decisions. And we've still got a lot of the same players that have sacked multiple managers. And I just find it sad that we're sat here debating an ex-player and who we want. And I'm like, it's like having a whole world to look at, and then you get the smallest microscope and you go, we'll pick someone from here. And there's a whole world to choose from, you know? And you know, I think it's wrong. Also, listening to what David Ornstein had to say, I don't know what your thoughts are on this. He was saying that Darren Fletcher will be in charge for the Brighton game. Obviously, he's doing his press conference this afternoon, I think. And then David Ornstein said it's not impossible that he'll be in charge for the Manchester City game, which is a week tomorrow, which is the 17th of January. And again, I would say, wake up to the spin. This is an interim manager who is an ex-player who is simply coming in for feel good. Why are we taking 2 weeks from Amrim's sacking to bring in an interim coach who is basically basic? You know, they're a placeholder. They're a milk monitor. They're a yes man. Why are we pretending like we need to interview all these people like it's going to make a massive amount of difference? They're still going to deal with the shit players. They're still an ex-player with a crap CV. They're only coming in for the feel-good factor. Why are we taking so long to decide on an interim? And I'll tell you why we're waiting. The longer they spin the story of Solskjær, Carrick or Van Nistelrooy, the quicker the window goes and the more you move the story. I mean, if they appointed Solskjær yesterday, they've still got 3 weeks of the January transfer window to navigate. And if Solskjær loses to Man City and Arsenal, and Spurs and Newcastle and everyone else and Chelsea are doing business, it's all going to go mad again ahead of that Fulham protest. This is just simple politics, propaganda, media spin. They're dragging this out to drag the story out to deflect away from the January transfer window, which is actually the priority. Like, I couldn't give a shit if it's Solskjær, Carrick, Xavi, or me as the interim manager. I don't give a shit. The thing I care about is that our midfield is crap and we've got games of football to play between now and the end of May and win. And with that midfield, it terrifies me. So it's laughable. It's absolutely laughable that they are feeding David Ornstein, one of the best journalists in the world. Well, it might, you know, Darren Fletcher might be here for the Man City game. Mate, it takes 2 minutes to bring an interim in. 2 minutes. They're an interim. It is desperation. I think Peter Schmeichel said it yesterday. Sacking Amrim when you haven't got a plan is ridiculous. They have got a plan. They're just... Does it really matter, Carrick, Solskjær or Van Nistelrooy? I mean, does it really matter? I'm not saying it's different shades of shit, but it's certainly... Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? If we go for Carrick and he loses a few games, I don't think I'd be sat there going, we should have gone for Solskjær. I really don't think it's that big a difference, if I'm talking honestly. But what I do think is that we're spinning this out to keep the story going. I think the whole Man United strategy at the moment is based on social media. I think it's a large part of our strategy, which it shouldn't be. Because if you've got strong leaders, you don't give a shit about social media or the fans or ex-players. It's ridiculous how ex-players and the fans are being taken into account by that board. And I think at the moment they are so locked into perception of them protecting themselves that they're not doing what's best for the club. So they're delaying this interim decision like it's... I mean, they're acting like they're deciding between Messi and Ronaldo. You know, who should we sign? You know, it's bloody... It's an ex-player with a shit CV. Come on. Does it really matter? Just get on with it, you know? And the reason they're doing it is because the window's open and they don't want all the shit. And ultimately, there's a very high chance that the new interim's going to come in and lose his first 2 games and the fans are going to lose it because we haven't got a midfield. And that, you know, are they trying to split the bad results? Are they trying to give Fletcher Man City and then the next interim the next one? I don't know.